Welcome back to Sailing Sunday. Last week we learned just how close you can get to hitting a bridge without actually doing any serious damage, as we continue our journey south to warmer weather. And after a full day of scraping low bridges, we pulled into Coinjock Marina for a well-deserved drink to calm the nerves. But this morning's bridges are even lower. So first things first, before we continue on, it's time to rip down this corroded antenna once and for all, which isn't exactly the most comfortable task. Just ask Ryan. We've decided to take Ryan up the mast to try and get this aerial down one more time. Okay, let's do this. Now, this is not the first time we've tried to get this down, but the conditions had not been favorable for us. So today we're determined to get it off while it's still calm.
I'm just taking the antenna down because we hit the bridge pretty hard at 65.5 foot, and the next couple are 64 feet. So hopefully we're safe.
In the end, Ryan managed to get it off by drilling out the rivets. He then taped the antenna to the mast and called it a job well done.
Hello.
We hadn't even had our first coffee or changed out of our pajamas before it was time for our next bridge. This was another low one, but we were feeling pretty confident after checking the height boards. It's amazing how comfortable you can get even though there's mere inches between your mast and the bridge. But we breezed under it and then got stuck into some good old banana pancakes.
Alligator River Bridge, sailing vessel Sunday, over. Yes, just requesting permission to transit through, over.
Along with the fixed bridges, we also have to navigate the many swing and drawbridges, which open on a schedule or on demand. These are so much fun to pass through, and at least they don't give us heart palpitations unlike the fixed bridges we've passed under so far. This bridge was cool in that it had room to allow multiple vessels to pass through at once, whereas other bridges can only allow one at a time, so often there's a lineup waiting to pass through, which can be tricky in the narrow channels sometimes. But this time the only people that were waiting were the cars on the bridge waiting for it to close again.
Alligator River Bridge, sailing vessel Sunday. Thank you very much. Have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. Over.
Today was a pretty easy day, so we were able to relax a bit and enjoy it. So I decided to head down and make my favorite salsa chicken nachos for lunch, which are super easy with just some taco seasoning and a jar of salsa. Chuck them in the air fryer with your favorite toppings and voila. Unfortunately, Ryan's not a big fan of most of the good stuff, but I was able to at least get a bit of greens on top. Happy wife, happy life. A lot of depth under us there, Capitan.
It's going to get less in a minute.
Oh, geez. Just in time for sunset. Remember, it's at 2.2. You're scaring me.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
2.1. Oh, my God. Abort mission. You're really pushing it there, Captain.
Good thing for bow thrusters, eh?
My good Lord.
So 2.1.
We're still at 2.1.
Yeah, so you probably don't want to anchor here.
Oh my God.
So just about 10 meters up.
Yeah. At this point, I'd just like to point out the perks of having a dog on board. Knowing you're never alone because there's always a piece of Jackson hair nearby to keep me company. Oh, I hate it when that happens. My remote falls down and I'm too short to get it. I'm gonna hook it up with my foot. Okay, are you ready? Short girl problems. This is how we get our snub around as well. Come on! These slippers are multi-use. So when we're pulling back on our anchor, there's a few different things we look at. We look at land, and we look to make sure that we're not moving from a point on land. We also look for turbulent water, and the turbulent water will wash this way. So you can see all this water being dispersed because we're not moving the direction that our motor's trying to make us go. So there's quite a few different things that you can do to tell. You can also look at your chain, see it's straight out, it's not bouncing. Lots of different ways. Snubbers on, tied off. That's it.
Oh, we're done. Look at the sunset. It's amazing. Oh. I'm so stoked.
Dirty hand. High five. High five. No, do proper. Come on.
Proper go. Oh, now look at that sunset. Oh, the serenity. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Early good morning. It's 6 o'clock now. We're gonna leave at 5, but it's just pitch black out there because it's cloudy.
Be honest, we slept in.
And we slept in. Brittni's making coffee.
I'm not camera ready.
We got all our clothes out here. So we're hanging up inside, socks, jocks, all the goodness. We did our washing last night. We're so stoked. We put the new water maker in. Whee! What are you doing there?
Making coffee.
We put the new water maker in before we left, and we just had to properly run it for the first time just yesterday when we arrived. And I did some washing because we can't drink the water out of it for the first 2 hours because we've got to rinse everything out. So I used that water for all the washing. Oh, thank you, sexy legs.
There's a dog hair on it.
I can see it.
Oh no.
So we ran the water maker. We were making 250 litres an hour. How crazy is that, hey?
How did you even work that out?
Because I filled up the 10-litre jug, and I filled that 10-litre jug right up to the top, so it was probably like 12 litres. And it took about just over 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes or something. So I worked that out right?
You tell me.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we got all our washing. Brittni's nice little G-strings hanging up there on the TV.
Hell?
And it's 6 o'clock and we're gonna leave. So this is the scariest bridge of them all. There's 2 bridges. One is really low and then the second one is really low. It's the lowest bridge. It's hovering around 63.5 and 64.5 feet. So the rivers are down, hasn't rained for a while. You shouldn't go when there's northerly winds, and the northerly winds have just started. So we're hoping that they don't push enough water into the river right now. Yeah, I already thought about this. The bad weather comes and we get caught between the 2 bridges, Brittni. That's when we're gonna have to fill the dinghy up with water, hanging off the side of the halyard, and tilt the boat.
Good Lord, help us.
And we'll have to do it. So, that's it. Pretty easy, huh? Oh, you can't even see.
Of course you can't, it's pitch black.
Well, I got the light on. So I got the heater down here, the helm station, the iPad's gonna go there, the coffee, we're all protected in our cover. I don't know if you guys can see, but the sun's just gonna start coming up in a minute. Oh, so we'll just pull out the anchorage here into the channel and go slowly out into the dark. And I've got the navigation and it should be pretty sweet. And by the time we get to the bridges, the sun will be coming up. How's that? Hey Brittni, do you want to go out please to the freezing cold and bring up the anchor for me?
No! Sun's just come up, perfect timing. Still dark in front of us, but just enough to be able to see. Good morning. You can barely see me, but I'm here. So we are about to enter the channel of the 2 bridges we need to get through this morning. The first bridge is going to be sketchy. The second bridge is going to be seriously sketchy.
Why is that?
Because they're both friggin' low.
Yeah.
So the bridges you saw us go through where we're scraping under quite bad, that was nothing.
Yeah.
And now we don't have an aerial to be able to tell.
I know, basically, if we can get through these 2 bridges though, Brittni, then we can get through the whole ICW. Because these are the lowest bridges in the ICW.
And we met another yacht at the Coin Jock Marina who literally have tried to get through here multiple times and they've hit their mast every time. which really didn't add to our, like, you know, confidence level. Although they do have a higher mast than us, so we got that going for us.
Yeah, but up ahead, there's a little beacon here that's got a flashing red light, and it's got numbers on it 0 to 5. And when the water level's at 0, it means this first bridge is 65 foot and the second bridge is 64 foot. If it's at level 1, then this bridge will be 64 foot, and the next one 63, and so on. So we're gonna hope that this flashing light here reads level 0. I hope.
And at the other side of these two bridges,
you better go up there and have a look.
And at the other side of these two bridges is our salvation. Let's go. Oh my god. That's just a tree. Yeah. I can't hear you. The dog's friggin' howling. So it's well below 1. That's good, right?
Yeah.
That's really good, right?
It's so good to hear. I think Jackson thought we saw dolphins.
I couldn't hear a friggin' thing, you idiot! What the hell?
He's like, where are they? Where are they? Alright, so you can't, because it's very rarely below 1. That's why you can't read it. See all the growth around it?
Yeah.
So that was approximately 0.
So it literally couldn't get any better for us.
It couldn't get much better than that. I mean, it looked like it was probably, if 0 was there, probably a little bit above. So we're probably, I don't know, imperial, I only know metric, but it looks like we're about a quarter of a foot higher than, or quarter of a foot. Yeah, it's a quarter, isn't it? A quarter of a foot higher than 0. But so we should be at 65 and 64 up ahead.
So part of the reason we're beelining it through here this morning as well is because we've got some wild weather coming, and it's coming up from the south, which what we've heard from the locals and from our research we've done, any weather that blows up from the south blows water into these canals, so it raises the water level. So you basically would have to sit here and wait until a northerly comes down and blows all the water back out of the canals.
Yeah.
We only had a few hours before the bad weather was predicted to hit, and we still had a bit of ground to cover. So we're really hoping for some luck getting under these next two bridges, with our destination for the night being Belhaven, a cute little historical town which will hopefully protect us from the nasty storm headed our way. As you can see, it was laundry day last night. All of our unmentionables hanging around. But we had to bring them all inside to dry because it's so cold outside. It just holds the moisture. But look at, like Cinderella. It does feel good to have some clean clothes again though. We're about to get ready. Let's do this. We can see the first bridge coming up. And we were just saying, it sucks because it's actually not the lowest of the two. It'd be nice to get the lowest out of the way so we know we're good.
Yeah.
But this is actually the easier one.
It's like we've gone this far now, if we can't get under.
We're screwed.
Yeah.
Okay, we're about to go under and we're absolutely shitting ourselves. And we also are trying to get the drone out. I feel like we're doing too much at the same time. It's freaking me out. Just to add a bit of stress to the situation. Because why not? It was really reassuring to get the drone out and really see how much room we had. When you're looking up at it, it seriously looks like we're gonna snap our mast on every bridge we've been under so far. And it's nearly impossible to gauge the distance from this angle. But it's all about perspective, and as you can see, looks can definitely be deceiving. I mean, don't get me wrong, we still don't have a lot of room, but it's actually more than we expected, which was a really nice surprise. Now, we've been so busy focusing on not running into the riverbanks or crashing into bridges that we haven't really taken in where we are. I mean, seriously, just take a look around us. How incredible is it to be so far inland, surrounded by fields of grass and trees? What an insane change of scenery from the vast ocean that usually surrounds us. If you're planning on cruising the east coast of the US and your keel and mast will allow it, the ICW is an absolute must. It's such a nice change of pace, and despite its scary moments, is an absolute bucket list experience. With the first bridge out of the way, it wasn't long until we reached the second and the lowest of the two. And the pressure was on to get moving, as we could feel the drop in temperature and the sky was turning gray. And we were running out of time to get to Belhaven before the storm. I feel like the term "you miss by an inch, you miss by a mile" really suits this moment. You really don't want to cut it much closer, and yet at the same time, it feels like there's still plenty of room to spare. Thankfully, the worst of the bridges were now behind us, and we managed to get through unscathed. So now it was on to Belhaven to ride out this nasty weather. Don't forget to subscribe to follow along our journey. It's an awesome way to help support our channel, and it doesn't cost a thing. And we'll see you next week for some more fun adventures.
All right, if you like the videos, please subscribe. Fell off the couch. Like and subscribe.